This is Tom Case speaking on behalf of the committee appointed by the board to work on the renaming of our We-Friendly golf course. I'd like today to take you through the process our committee just completed in recommending a new name for our redesigned and renovated second golf course at Fiddlesticks Country Club. After several months of conversation and dialogue to and with the membership, Ken Asher decided to send an email on January the 8th requesting suggested name change ideas for the renovated We-Friendly. I was asked to chair that committee to work on the renaming of the golf course. Barb Skillman, Ann Denning, Jimmy Romano, and David Goldberg agreed to be on that committee. The committee engaged Steve Graves, who is the president of Creative Golf Marketing, to assist in the process. Because of a relationship and a regard for Ryan, Steve agreed to do this work for us at no charge, which we were thrilled about. And the committee felt very strongly that with a $6 million project that it would be important for us to use professional advice in naming the golf course for a number of different reasons. We met on multiple occasions and spoke on the telephone with Steve Graves several times. The committee reviewed over 125 names that were suggested by the membership and gave those to Steve, who in turn sent them to a board of people in Scotland to get their Scottish input. The goals of the committee that we set out from the very beginning was that we wanted to find a name that fit with the golf experience of the new golf course. The philosophy, the drive all along with this project was to create a very unique experience on the We-Friendly, or the new golf course, from that of the Long Mean. And so in that regard, we wanted to find a name that was unique and was sophisticated, one that fit with our community. In traveling and looking at the work that Kip Schultheis has done around the state of Florida, one theme that we continually saw was the use of beautiful caprock on lake banks. And so the caprock is unique from the Long Mean. In addition to that, the lake banks historically were in straight lines. They were very boring, if you will. And the new lake banks on this golf course are going to have a lot of inlets, a lot of features. And so we thought if we could capture that, a name that addressed the water features, that could be meaningful. Though we did not want to force a Scottish name, we thought if we could find a good Scottish name to go along with the Fiddlesticks heritage, that would be a good thing. We also, from the very beginning, did not want to use the word Piper or the word Challenge because it was used previously in an unsuccessful name change. We wanted to find a name that blended well with the Long Mean. One of the attractive things about Long Mean We-Friendly is that those two titles go together very well, and we were very mindful of wanting to keep that same structure where the two names would go well when they were said. And finally, and maybe as important or more important than any of those, we wanted to make sure that we had a name that would speak to outsiders about a truly wonderful golf experience and not something that could be associated with a short executive or municipal golf course. Here's a list of the names that came in from the membership. Now, this is actually just a partial list because a number of these names or these words were used multiple times as suggestions. Here is a list of the names that were suggested to us by Creative Golf Marketing. And you'll note as you look at this the desire to tie two things together that could be that flowed well and that would market this idea of beautiful water features and at the same time the Scottish sophisticated name, like for example the Long Mean and the Loch, or the Long Mean and the Wee Loch. The word tartan came up a number of times. People like that word. Also, with a laugh, a lot of people thought about the long mean and the wee dram as being Scottish. Okay, the name that we selected, a name that would describe a different golf experience from the long mean, a name that would speak to the beautiful meandering lake banks with eye-pleasing green complexes framed with caprock, a catchy and unique name that would market well to prospective members. As our committee thought about the names, Ann Deming said, "Why don't we name it the Loch Ness?" And almost immediately, Barb Skillman said, "I can't believe it. I just wrote that name down on my notepad. The long mean, the Loch Ness. The long mean, the Loch Ness." It has a real ring to it. Jimmy Romano jumped in. "Hey, I really like it. I think that's the name." David Goldberg agreed. We all liked it. Then our committee looked back at some of the notes that we had from the members. Tracy Powell had suggested the name. The late Judge Roberto also suggested the name, as did Mike Mullen in a conversation. That further supported the name that we were so excited about. Sarah Martini Ritchie said, "Hey, that name has tremendous marketing appeal." And Ryan Shaw, our quarterback, said, "I really like it." All right, so let's recap and consider the question why. We wanted a name that fit the golf experience, and we knew the golf course is going to have much more interesting water. It's going to have more water, and so the idea of the Loch Ness, we ran the idea by Kip Schulteis, and he thought it was dynamite. A name that's unique and sophisticated, that is creative and distinct. We think this name fits all of that. A name that is incorporated into the Scottish heritage and also the heritage of Fiddlesticks. The Loch Ness in Scotland is a very deep body of water. A name that blends well with the long mean. The long mean, the Loch Ness. We think it goes together just perfectly. The committee and Creative Golf Marketing thinks the name plays well off the long mean. And finally, a name that was marketable to outsiders, that could in no way be associated with a short executive golf course. The committee, Creative Golf Marketing, and the staff, along with Kip Schulteis, believe the name is much more marketable than the Wee Friendly. Based on the work and the research done by our special committee, we unanimously recommend to the Board of Directors that a motion be made to approve the name of the Loch Ness, replacing the old name, the Wee Friendly. Those of us that have been here this summer and watched the construction and the progress being made on the Loch Ness are thrilled at the prospects of playing what's going to be a wonderful golf course this fall, and we believe that the Loch Ness is a great name to capture that experience. Thank you.